Hello everyone and welcome. I am Sarah and today we are doing the rapid fire book tag. First question, ebook or physical book? Ebook. I know, I'm strange. Ebook. Paperback or hardcover? If I have to go with a physical book, paperback. Online or in-store shopping? Since I tend to do ebooks, I do online shopping. Trilogies or series? I'd have to say series because I get attached to characters really easily, and so after just 3 books and having to say goodbye to those characters, never to see them again, it's like saying goodbye to a good friend. Series. Heroes or villains? This is a tough one. Kind of want to say heroes just because that's usually who I identify with, but acting out scenes, it's a little more fun to be the villain. But I think I'm gonna go hero. A book you want everyone to read. This is really hard because there's so many good books out there. I don't know which one to throw out there. So for this one, I think I'm gonna go with Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind. It is book 1 in the Sword of Truth series, because I just finished the last book in the series forever and I don't want to say goodbye, so I'm going to recommend this one. Recommend an underrated book. I think I'm going to go with The Corridor. I can't think of who it's by right now, but there's going to be a picture probably right here or over here. Check it out. The Corridor. It's a duology. The last book you finished. Warheart by Terry Goodkind. The last book in the Sword of Truth series. It's an ebook, so you'll see a picture somewhere. The last book you bought. I'm not even sure. Oh, the last book I bought is going to be Queen by Amy Carter, an audiobook. Weirdest thing you've used as a bookmark? I don't even remember, because I haven't done a whole lot of physical books since ebooks came around. I've pretty much gone full throttle to ebooks. Probably a receipt was probably the weirdest thing that I can think of. I may have used a hair tie at some point, so I guess the hair tie would be weirder than the receipt. So I'll go with hair tie. Used books, yes or no? Yes, I guess, because I do borrow from my local library, so those books are technically used. Top 3 favorite genres. Fantasy, young adult, and mystery. I think that's what I'm gonna have to go with. Borrow or buy? I'm gonna have to go with buy. One, because I usually want to support the authors, and if you borrow, you usually have to worry about returning it at some point and keeping track of the book. Or in the case of ebooks, you really have to keep track of what day it's going back because it's an automatic thing. It's just gone from your library, so maybe you only had like 30 pages left in the book. Oops, it's gone! At least when you borrow from the library. Borrowing from a friend, different kind of thing. And you just have to worry about the friend wanting it back eventually. Characters or plot? These are some tough questions because it takes both, I think, to make a really good book. But I think sometimes if the characters aren't believable, the plot just kind of falls apart. So I think I'm gonna go with characters. Long or short books? I think I'm gonna go long, because short, it's, you read it and then it's done. And you know, maybe an hour later or something, depending on how short the book is, and then it's like, I want more! And you can't have more unless the short book is part of a series and you have to go get the next book in the series. So I'm gonna go with long book. Long or short chapters? I honestly don't care as long as the story keeps moving. And I usually have to stop in the middle of a chapter anyways, just because I read whenever I can, which includes waiting for my ride in the mornings to go to work. So I usually have to put the book down at a moment's notice, so it really doesn't matter to me. Name the first 3 books you think of. Warheart, Creativity Inc., and I'm trying not to look at my bookcase so that it's not influencing what's coming into my mind. Warheart, Creativity Inc., Night Circus, because I'm listening to it as an audiobook right now. Books that make you laugh or cry. I would rather a book that makes me laugh, because if I cry, it tends to affect my mood for the rest of the day, and I'd rather be happy, so I'd rather laugh and have that influence me for the rest of the day, and I can be a little happier than maybe I would have been if I hadn't read the book. So laughing, definitely. Our world or fictional worlds? Considering my top genre is fantasy, I'm gonna go with fictional worlds. It's really hard to have a fantasy in our world, and I don't, there are some out there that are like attempting to be based in our world, and I do enjoy those. But I'd have to say I like the ones in the fictional worlds a bit more. Audiobooks, yes or no? Yes. Totally. Because I'd be nowhere close to my Goodreads goal if I didn't have audiobooks. I'm actually surprised at how much more audiobooks I'm reading this year than physical, I shouldn't say physical, than, you know, the ebook, actually reading the book. Because I used to be like against audiobooks. I mean, not against them, but I just tried to stay away from them. I'd rather read the book. But life has made it necessary for audiobooks. If I want to enjoy reading, I need an audiobook. Because there's not enough time to just sit down and read. Do you ever judge a book by its cover? Yes. The cover, or even like the binding on the side if it's a physical book, is usually the first thing that catches my attention to make me pick it up and even read the synopsis of what the book is about. So yes, I do judge books by their cover. Book to movie or book to TV adaptations? It has to really depend on the book, I guess. Because like Game of Thrones are really thick, so it works as a TV series. Although the TV series is now ahead of the books. And I mean, book to movie, if it's, or the same thing as a TV adaptation, if it's not done right, it's gonna flop anyways. So, if I have to pick, I guess I'm going to say book to movie, since most books are not as long as Game of Thrones. And would probably work better as a movie. So yeah, I'm going with book to movie. Final answer. A movie or TV show you preferred to its book. Can't really think of one. Because really the movies and the TV adaptations are just another interpretation of the book, so it doesn't even really necessarily click for me that what I'm watching is the book. It's just a movie. I don't even know how to explain how I see those, but I haven't really come across a TV adaptation or movie that I prefer to the book. So I don't have an answer for this question yet. Series or standalones? Again, I'd have to go with series because you get connected. You make a connection to the characters and whatnot, and having to say goodbye after just one book or two or three can be very painful, so I'd have to say series. And that is the rapid fire book tag. So if you would like to do this tag, I tag you. Feel free to check me out on any of my social medias, links down below, and I will see you soon with a new video. TTFN!